night comes alive. Maxspeedtv, where the races thrive. Tires burn, the crowd leans in. This is where the action begins. Wheels spin, sparks ignite. Under the lights is a fierce fight. Chats alive like a racing heart. Here's a place where legends start. Oh, Maxspeedtv, full throttle run. Broadcasting great chat, second to none. League action racing under the sun. Maxspeedtv, where the fun's never done. Thank you, Chevyland.com. Now hurry and get you one, son. Tell Maxspeedtv sent you.
Shopping for a new Chevy? Chevyland stands apart from the competition. Explore over 12 acres and more than 260 vehicles with truckloads of savings, like $10,000 off select new 2026 Silverado 1500s, 1.9% financing on Blazer and Silverado, plus the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months complimentary maintenance. That's peace of mind, only at Chevyland. And that's why we're #1 in North Louisiana. Come see the difference for yourself at Chevyland, your Silverado headquarters.
Tonight is it, folks, of the top 16, round 3 of 3, the OP Super Speedway Unlimited Xfinity Series here at Daytona, presented to you all by Maxspeedtv. A good turnout here tonight for the final round, for this final round of the top 16. Of course, 8 drivers will advance into the round of 8, 2 races in that race, and then we will, of course, get to the final 4 for the championship. However, we do got a lot of newcomers out here tonight. 7, 8, 9 new drivers here for OP. So Could get a little sketchy at first, but I think for the most part, I think we will be okay. And then, of course, we do have our veteran OP drivers as well going to be out here. And, of course, those with the playoff the P in their name. Well, that's your playoff drivers. And I did figure it out on the why it's doing that up there at the top. That will be fixed. It is not on my end. There is a hiccup with the way that was put in. So nonetheless, though, we do still have our driver bar here. That way everybody knows exactly who is in the playoffs. But before we take a look at our point standings, as well as the two drivers that have already locked themselves into the round of 8 or the top 8, we will, of course, take a look at our pre-race analytics here tonight. Air temp of 78, track temp of the same 78 degrees, 100 laps, 250 miles, unlimited tires, so they don't have to worry about just, saving tires or whatever. The fuel, though, is 43%. We're looking at about 15 to 20 laps on fuel. A give or take, plus or minus 2 or 3. You can save more if you're in the draft than you can if you are the lead car, such as what Rick is in this group right here. So he would be burning off more fuel than, say, the 4 of Rick Seabrand's V83 of Shane Posey, and likewise behind them, I believe that might be that is the 960 of Eric Braden, one of the new guys out here. So fuel could become a problem out here tonight, as we know these races can come down to a fuel strategy call. We also know that pit road could become a problem later on in the race. Got to get it woed down. No mistakes on pit road. No big wrecks on pit road. We know that can happen as well. So we'll see here how that all plays out throughout the 100 lap feature here tonight. Pace speed is 70 miles an hour. I do expect a yellow or two. Just seeing as with the new drivers, not everybody knows how to drive around everybody yet, so they're going to be kind of jumping into this and going from there. So we could have a few yellows out here tonight, plus it being a super speedway at that. We'll get to chat here in just a second. Here is our point standings coming into tonight. Note the asterisk or star notes a win. So if they've got the asterisk by their name, they've got a win in this round. The top in the top 16 3 races, they're already locked in. They don't have to worry about it. Really, it's going to be based on points, as well as if one of these chase drivers tonight can get the win and you're in. We are missing a few of them, I do believe. We'll see if they make it here in time. But Adam Kilday won round 1 of the top 16. He is locked in. He's good to go. He's got 2090 in total points. Anthony English is in second per the points at 2085. James Marin third at 2082. Nicholas Wing in fourth at 2079. Travis Elliott won last week. He's locked in. He is sitting in fifth per the points. Actually tied per points with Jerry here. But Travis getting that win. He's got the upper edge and already locked in. So Jerry would be taking that spot away technically at 2076. Well, we'll see how it all plays out tonight. Harold Rothery in seventh at 2070. Mark Mann in eighth at 2067. Christopher Jordan in ninth at 2059. Dana Shepard rounding out the top 10 at 2058. Mr. Shall Not Be Named Rick Sanchez in 11th at 2056. Andrew Zanto in 12th at 2055. Shane Posey in 13th at 2053. Dave Hunt in 14th at 2049. Bubba Winningham in 15th at 2042. And Vicente Guerrero in 16th at 2038. The points behind, as you can see there, you have the position name, points, and behind. The first number on the left notes the leader, and the points on the right. So you have like 8-3. So 8 would be behind the leader. 3 would be behind the driver ahead of them. That is how you can keep everybody kind of separated, know how far they are behind the leader, per also behind each driver ahead of them. But tonight's it of the top 16. We will have, of course, our lock-in of 8 after tonight. Now, I do want to make note, everybody, we will be off this coming up Saturday, broadcast-wise, as well as season racing-wise. I'll probably have a little race going on, but we will be off this Saturday because of Easter weekend. So, you know, everybody enjoy the Easter holiday, the weekend, have fun, be safe, of course. When we come back, though, we'll get set for the 2 races into the round of 8. And, well, then we'll be off and away. We'll have only 3 races left, including the race we come back to when we come back. So it's going to be coming down to the final 3 races, and then, of course, our championship. But we'll get to chat here in just a second. We're going to step aside, play the national anthem. Folks, hang tight. We will be right back with qualifying underway.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran past, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the frame, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say,
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeedtv.
All right, qualifying underway here tonight. Right now, we're just waiting on the times. They only get one lap of qualifying. That is all they get. So they're going to have to put in their fastest lap on their one and only lap they get. Looks like we've got Brian Lashbrook, Anthony English, Jesse Meyer, Rick Sanchez, Wayne Rothery, and Nicholas Don Francisco. I think I just seen him in chat just a second ago. Ginger Parent out there as well. Eric W., Brendan Kennedy, Melva, my brother. Good turnout in chat. Sarah Lashbrook is out there as well. Nice to see you. So it looks like right now the 924 of Nicholas Don Francisco up in the top spot. Well, as I say that, the 44 of Anthony English takes the top spot. A lot of drivers still out here putting laps in. James Mayer was in second. Now Dave Hunt goes up into second. Now Rick Sanchez second, Dave third. James Wagner coming up into the sixth position. Times are rolling in, so everybody is changing spots. Looks like Jeff out there rooting on Mr. Wilden. Nick, okay, so you are the 924. All right. Well, nice to have you out on the track, bud. Nice to see you in chat as well. Of course, pay more attention to the race than chat or the broadcast, please. Because we do kind of get a little on the goofy side. And we don't want you cracking up and laughing and wrecking, just so you know. But looks like we've got some fans out there, and a lot of drivers, though, it looks like are not qualifying. Looks like Jerry is going to be rolling off here, but he's only got about a minute to do it. And Richard Kuhn going up into sixth. Ron Walters, Christopher Jordan up into 20th. We'll stay on Ron here. Right now, though, Anthony English is the only driver up there. He's not been able to be beat yet. Kind of just waiting on these times to finish up here. Looks like Jerry is not even on his first lap. I don't think he's going to be able to even finish his lap here. No, he's going to start it, but with about 6 seconds left to go. He's not going to be able to get around the track in 6 seconds. So that's going to put Anthony English up on the pole here tonight. Let's see here if we could find Anthony out. He moved down to here. Well, let's go ahead and get him up here, Anthony. You've been up here many times already, and you're up here again, starting it off here on pole. Final race of the top 16, buddy. Night race. How you feeling out there? Well, I don't guess he can hear me. All right, we'll go ahead and pull him back down there in a minute. But Anthony English is going to grab the pole out here tonight. Moose Pie! There's my brother out there as well, Jeff. All right, well, we'll get him up here in just a second if we can. go ahead and grab him one more time and get him up here. Anthony, got a copy? Nope, he does not have a copy. All right, well, it does look like we are going to go ahead and just grid them up here real quick. Anthony English with the pole out here tonight with a 51-12. Congratulations again to Anthony on the pole here tonight. Rick Sanchez going to start at the outside of him in second. Harold Rothery third. Dave Hunt fourth. Shane Posey fifth. Richard Kuhn in sixth. James Mayer seventh. James Wagner in eighth. Nick Wing ninth. And Nicholas Don Francisco in 10th. We'll try to say his last name 5 times fast. Dana Shepard in 11th. Andy Brigante 12th. Ron Whitaker 13th. Brian Lashbrook in 14th. Shane Wilden 15th. Chris Ramsey 16th. Andrew Zonto 17th. Ron Walters in 18th. Jesse Meyer in 19th. And Dallas Childers 20th. Christopher Jordan 21st. Joe Hudson, 22nd. Rick Seabrands, 23rd. Jerry Bergeron, 24th. Mark Mann, 25th. Ron Holyfield, 26th. Stephen McGough in 27th. Eric Braden, 28th. Andrew Schroeder, 29th. And George Rincon in 30th. And Eric Merced is going to round out our 31 car field here tonight. Wow, what a big group. I mean, you can still cheat, Ginger. You can put nitrous oxide or some type of extra boost of fuel in your engine if you wanted to. Just don't get. You can't do it on iRacing, but I've heard of actual real NASCAR drivers doing it. This was years and years ago, and I'm sure you have too, to get that extra boost of speed. But yeah, different strategies too. But Anthony knows these tracks. He knows how to grab the pole. He just knows how to put himself in a good spot. So, no surprise that he got it. We weren't able to talk to him. Maybe we'll be able to get him up here sometime throughout the race here. As we get going here, the pace truck will dive off to the safety of pit road. You're watching Maxspeedtv, the OP Super Speedway Xfinity Unlimited Series. Around 3 of 3 here at Daytona. Pace car, well, in this case, pace truck. We'll dive off. There it goes to the safety of pit road, if you want to call it safe. Get into that start zone. Here we go. Green is out. Boogity, 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 folks. We are racing here tonight. The top 16 finale. Yeah, not all strategies are NASCAR approved. Right. It might be approved, just not NASCAR approved. Already got some movement going on. Drivers already. Oh no! Anthony already up into the wall, and the first yellow, first lap is already out here tonight, and it looks like Anthony English is going to be involved in this. Did he get a bad bump? He was not in the lead at the time, but it doesn't mean anything. Looks like he might have came up. I don't think the 18 bumped him, but then again, the 18 was right there. I don't think the 18 got him, but we said on here on the 44 right there, the 18 is right behind him, and yeah, right there, Anthony just drifted up. And right into the 928. Looks like the 24 car. And, Nicholas Don Francisco got a piece of it too. The 90, the 06, the 78. That is Christopher Jordan. The 841. Looks like some drivers already. Pretty close, Belva. Pretty close. They do have an anti-cheat program, Eric. They do, but there is ways around it. And if you look hard enough, you could find it. Not all anti-cheat programs are anti-hack proof, I guess you could say. It has, people have got around them. All right, well, Dallas Childers is going to take point here with Dave Hunt coming off of pit road. Sanchez, Rothery, Kuhn, Posey, Mayer, Shepard, Wilden, and Seabrands. Our top 10 here off of pit road, minus Dallas, because he did not come down. Chris Ramsey, and Jesse Meyer, and Nicholas Don Francisco, George Rincon, Eric Braden, Nick Wing, Mark Mann, Joe Hudson, just coming off now in the 23. Jerry coming off, as well as Schroeder. So Schroeder did make it. Nice to see Mr. Schroeder. The biggest cheat is the tire cheat. Yeah, tires and fuel is the two biggest that I could see on iRacing. Eric, you also said something about an anti-cheat that's not been foiled. There is one out there that is very, very difficult to get around. I only know of one person that knows how to get around it, and of course he doesn't live in the United States, but it took him over a year to figure out how to do it, and still, nevertheless, it's not guaranteed that the same thing you do will get around it. It's called X-Trap. Don't say it. What do you mean? That's me. What are you talking about? I'm so confused, Netsby. All right, here we go. Pace truck lights are off. Dallas Childers and Dave Hunt, row one up for right. Coming to lap number 5. Caution already. Yep. Caution already. And it happened actually up toward the front. Actually at the very front, really. Looks like Stephen McGough has already taken his car behind the wall. He is done for the evening. Had already used his fast repair and just he's had enough. If you get caught, you will be banned. That's why a lot of your leagues and stuff have a certain They watch. Some of them know. All right, here we go. Pace truck is down, and the green's back out. Here we go, Dallas. Good job. Don't want to get too far out in front, though. Harold Rothery is behind the 18. You like the Kermit car? Dallas got a good run. Watch the outside. Dave Hunt, Shane Posey, Dana Shepard, Rick Seabrands, also all on the outside. 0. I think that is supposed to be that is Jesse Meyer in the icy 00 car. And here we go, Dave Hunt taking over point. Dallas did lead a couple of laps here, and we're 3 wide at Daytona. And Dave Hunt's going to lead that lap with the help of the 83 of Posey. And we're going to go back 3 wide. Dana Shepard pulling back. Oh, right there with a 95 of James. Here comes the 00 machine. Of Jesse Meyer, side by side. 83. Yeah, Shane. Shane. I know Shane really well. Shane's he's what I like to call a sneaky driver. He'll start in the back or wherever, and at some point or another, he's usually up toward the front. He's had an up and down season. He is in the chase. He is in the playoffs, and he definitely needs a miracle here tonight. You know, with the car count and everything, and as far back as he is in the point standings, he's gonna have to. I believe he will probably be one of many that will have to get the win to get in, as Dallas Childers almost takes out Rick Seabrands and company. Everybody's okay, though, but, oh, man, Dallas is all over the place up here, and we're not going to leave the front here until they can get it situated out. We got some battling back here, too, with Nicholas Don Francisco, Ryan Lashbrook, Andrew Schroeder, kind of right behind this front pack. So we will keep an eye on that as well. Shane Wilden's hood. I'll look at it here in just a second. I know he's right there in the 22. Let me see here real quick. Looks like he's got R&R Outcast on the hood. Looks like Dave Hunt pulling back here. Probably not liking what he's seeing. He led a lap. Oh, he's got problems. It's all right, though. He is pulling back up onto the racing surface. Looks like him and the 4. Oh, we've got a yellow. See, I knew as soon as I ended up leaving that, we would end up having a yellow. And it looked like right up here with the 83 of Shane Posey. You see, as soon as I start talking about somebody, too, and how good they're doing and what they need to do, well, this happens. So this is why I do not like talking about people. I was even mentioning it to these guys earlier today, but here is the wreck. Here is where it all is going to initiate. It looks like right there, the 51. 83 is behind him. 83 goes up, and then it was just kind of on from there here. It doesn't look like Shane got into contact with the 00 here. But definitely contact made there with the 51 machine. And then, of course, it was on in a big wreck here. Several drivers going to get involved in this as well. Going to see here if we can find out who they all are. Looks like George Rencon in the 947. And he's towed it to pit road. So another yellow out, and we're 10 laps into this race. Well, Sarah, I appreciate it. What I do is I've got my keyboard programmed to certain keys and certain buttons, slow down, fast forward, rewind, and I've got them memorized. And I also have a camera. I use the iRacing cameras, but I have buttons here that I push to change, you know, camera angles and stuff like that, to where I can get a better look at it. Now, what I see may be totally different from what they see when they go back and look at it. But I do appreciate the comment. Thank you for that. I'll try my best to, you know, give the fans something to look at, you know, about where it started, what happened. Not really blaming anybody per se, because I don't like doing that. But I have done it in the past. You know, I have said, you know, why did he move there, or why did he do that, you know. But I try not to. I try to be as very unbiased as I can, but we're human. We make mistakes, just like they do out on the track. They're human. They make mistakes. No, I can't. I've tried that, Sarah. I have. I've tried to just, all right, there's the wreck. Here's the replay. Bam, be done with it. No, I can't. I can't do that. I cannot do that. Because you don't really know what happened. You know, could be net code, which I'll explain. If you don't know what net code is here in a minute, I'll explain it to you. But it could be net code. It could be a bad bump. It could be a bumper hook. It could be just somebody just breaking loose. There could be any number of things that could cause a wreck. What netcode is have you ever played like Call of Duty or something, and you get a really bad lag spike where you press the button and then 5 seconds later your gun goes off? It's called lag. Well, that's kind of what netcoding is. It's trying to dictate, hey, where the car is going to be at any given point in time, and sometimes it doesn't match, and that's when you get netcode. That's what we call netcode. Yeah. So, and you can ask anybody in here, Sarah, that's been with me long enough. There are races and replays that I do miss, that I miss something. You know, something happens and I miss it. But it's not very often. Like I said, I'm only human. You know, I do make mistakes. But getting back down here to the race here, we've got Harold Rothery up front, Schroeder in second, it looks like. No, that is Dallas Childers in second. My bad. Schroeder's third, Shane fourth, Brian fifth, Nicholas sixth, Bergante seventh, Coonan eighth, Braden Walters ninth and 10th, Hunt in 11th, Eric Merced 12th, Jesse Meyer 13th, Ramsey 14th, and shall not be named Rick Sanchez rounding out the top 15 here. There is a joke about that one. So, the 18 is still in it. The 18's right here. That is Harold Rothery. He's still in it. I appreciate it. Yeah, prediction of coding being wrong. Yep. Well, I appreciate it there. Peanuts. I had to look at it. It looked like P-R-U-T-S, Pruts, but I looked at it. It's peanuts. All right, peanuts is in chat. Looks like Fredo Molly. I'll just say Molly for short. Is out in chat. And here we go. Green's back out once again. Couple of yellows early on here tonight. The Super Speedway Xfinity Unlimited Series. The final round of top 16. A good push there by Schroeder onto the 18. Whoa, Dallas Childers diving it down from the top side to the bottom. Richard Coon, Shane Wilden. I know we got some Shane fans out there in chat here tonight. I've seen them. I know you're out there. Nicholas Don Francisco, the 924 or 24. Go back to the Jeff Gordon machine, DuPont. Oh no! Big, huge wreck! Oh, that did not look good. Looks like the 51 going to get. Oh no. 042 of Brian Lashbrook. I know we got some Lashbrook fans out there. Yeah, this is, I think, one of the Sarah does not want to see out here tonight. But here is Brian. And we're going to go ahead and look at it here. It looked like right there. Look, oh, yeah, 51 coming up on him very quickly. And it looks like a bad bumper hook. Let's go this angle right here. Yeah, right there it was. A bad bumper hook. Just caught Brian Lashbrook and sent him up into the wall. And he took a hard lick there, too. Now, he was not the only one involved in this. It looked like the 47, 22, 960, 13, all involved. The 51, the 5, going to get a piece of it, too. And they were still wrecking back here behind them. Oh, man. 51 is Dallas Childers. Jeez. Yellow is out again here tonight. And now a commercial break. Now, I got a few commercials. Well, I got one. That's from our good buddy, Bubba Winningham. He's not here tonight, but now that it's kind of already done and everything, I'd already made the announcement. We've already done something for him, but he's retiring from in the car business for over 40 years, and he worked for a company the last 22 called Chevy Land, located in Shreveport, Louisiana. And so I've got the Chevy Land commercial, actually, and they've been a big part of OP for a long time. So that's probably something I will continue to do and support for, you know, not only Bubba, but for Chevy Land itself. But we don't play a lot of commercials here. Well, we really don't. I do not monetize my broadcast, so ain't no sense in it. I'm here to have fun and call a race. Yeah, not good though. Yeah, it's not good, Peanuts. It really isn't. It really isn't. I don't know what's going on out here tonight. I really don't. Hopefully they'll get it under control here. We'll have some green flag pit stops and you know, get the kind of separated a little bit. They have been known to do that. Starts out a little rough, and then, you know, they get going. Oh, the 06? That's Zonto. It looks like he is coming back down pit road. Yes, he is. Several of them are, actually. And it looks like Zonto has a black flag. Montucky. I think I said your name right. If not, well, you can kill me later. 83 has the best paint scheme. Timid Rachel out there. How you doing? If y'all haven't already hit that like button yet, please do so. We got 6 likes out there and 26 of you out there watching. Yeah, it has. It has been a while. I've been better. I'm doing all right now. Wasn't doing well at the beginning of last year, but I'm doing good now, a year later. I had open heart surgery last year, bud. Yeah, it was pretty scary. Massive heart attack for everybody that doesn't know. Yeah, I was 38 when that happened. I'm 39 now, but I was 38 when I had my heart attack and surgery. But I'm doing good. I'm holding up, doing really good. I did manage to quit smoking. All right. Here we go. Raw 3 hunt. Row 1. Boy, Schroeder getting to the back end of the 18. And here we go. A little bit of a late green flag there. Flag man needs to pay attention. A NASCAR 25. Well, I was out of this for about 3 to 4 months. And then I got back into it. Ooh, I got some movement going on right back here. 23 of Joe Hudson cut it in front of Ron Walters. That was a little close. But no harm, no foul. Everybody okay. All right, as they cross the stripe here, Robert's going to continue leading on point. Dave Hunt coming up to the side of him, or at least going to try to anyway. Dave needs a little bit of help. A little bit of gap there. The 937 of Chris Ramsey. Going to try to push that Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University machine up toward the front. Now Dave has led a lap. Harold has led 7. Looks like the 53 is going to have the lead, but he is not clear, so he does not need to come down. Whoa! Got a little dicey behind Dave between the 48 and the 18. Good job hanging on to it. Let's check on everybody else. Richard Kuhn, Joe Hudson, Eric Merced, Anthony English, George Rincon, Rick Sanchez, Nicholas Don Francisco. That's some side-by-side and single file back here. Not a whole lot going on. Where the mess is at is up toward the front. That's where we have seen it pretty much throughout the entire well, 19 laps here. Coming up on lap number 20 here. Well, Eric, be honest with you, I didn't even know how bad it was until I actually, was able to sit down and wrap my head around everything. And then I realized, oh, that was bad. And it's not nothing to laugh about, really. But, yeah, I didn't really know how serious it was. And you don't until it actually happens to you, folks. Here we go. Good battle up here. Boy, the top three kind of pulling away. Dave Hunt, Rothery, Schroeder. Chris Ramsey on back, though. They are still duking it out. Now they're starting to get a little more single file. I've only been out here a handful of laps, 6, 7 laps, so nowhere even near pit stops. Molly. We'll say moonshine. We'll call it moonshine, since that's how NASCAR kind of really started, kind of came about. I don't know if my good buddy Steven's still out there or not, but I know, Eric, I know you painted the cop car for him to wreck and swerve. So, Shepard is one. Oh, Data Shepard running back here, right out about 23rd. It's still way early, though, so still got a long way to go. Not even a quarter of the way through the race, and we're not even halfway through the halfway mark yet. So still a ways to go here tonight. Really single file to about Ron Walters. Then you get some double file side by side going on back here. Dallas Childers, James Wagner, Ryan Whitaker, Joe Hudson, Kuhn, Eric Braden. Here comes Anthony English, George Renkind. This is where you got side by side going. See the 928 jumping out to the outside there of James Wagner. Now, it does look like Ron Holyfield, Brian Lashbrook has both taken their cars behind the wall. Ron did have a fast repair, but he didn't use it, and Brian did not. So, tough break for the both of them. Ooh, got a lot of wiggling topside back here. That is the 13 of Andy Brigante getting loose. The 83 of Shane Posey was behind, and probably some bumper rubbing going on. Looks like the 83 backed off a little bit. Probably had to get air into the engine to cool that engine off, and that is a thing. Oh! Jesse. Hang on to it there, buddy. We've still got racing going on Thursday night with the OPTNT 87 series. 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central. Don't want to miss it. That's 4 races in that chase. Straight up racing. 16 drivers going for that championship. Now, unlike the Unlimited series here, the TNT series does not have a playoff feature, an elimination races. So, Nicholas Don Francisco in the 924-24 DuPont machine. Just out of curiosity, is he actually driving? Yes, he is. He is actually driving a Chevy. So, the 0-0, yeah, that's Jesse Meyer in the icy machine. Right here, the slush puppy. That's a throwback. And then, of course, you also got 24 back there, too. Dana's just an unmarked car. Wow, Ginger. Wow. Do y'all have just, you know, want to throw this out there as they continue to go side by side here. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about police stations and local fire departments having fun pranks on each other with, you know, water balloon fights and, you know, donuts and, you know, all sorts of fun, you know, no harm stuff. Do y'all have that up there? Side by side, still going. We're getting in here closer and closer to green flag potential pit stops here, folks. We have been out here 13, 14, 15 laps. That's just kind of the gap. So anywhere between 13 and 15 laps. Not just for fun at the station? Well, I mean, I know y'all don't do it just at the station. I mean, they do it all over the place, but it's between usually the police departments and the fire department where they're playing jokes on one another. Well, everybody's starting to get single file here, folks, so it looks like we are going to have a potential green flag pit stop if everybody can stay straight and hang on to it. Remember, Ginger's in here, so we're not going to have any mistakes on pit road tonight. Yeah, we know how that goes. When Ginger's not here, they wreck on pit road. When she's here, they make it safely down pit road. So that's what usually happens, Ginger. I'm just saying. It's like me being up here in the booth. I go to talking about somebody, and then they end up wrecking. So, don't feel too bad. Zonto, Sanchez making a run on the outside. They're going to have to find a hole here pretty soon, though. Looks like Zonto... somebody falling back here. That is George Renkine falling back. And we are just kind of waiting to see when these guys dip it down to pit road. And here we go. We're going to have some Dippin' Dots here tonight. James Wagner is going to be our first Dippin' Dot here this evening. Coming down pit road here. Chris Ramsey has a black flag speeding down pit road. He's going to have a bad Dippin' Dot here tonight. Joe Hudson, Eric Braden also dipping it down pit road. Yes, I called them Dippin' Dots here tonight. I don't know why. Dippin' Dots, yep, and Dave Hunt is going to lead the second group of Dippin' Dots down pit road. Now, I guess we're just going to stick with the Dippin' Dots here this evening. Dave, Jesse, Ryan, Harold, Andy, Dallas, Ron, Richard, Shane, Andrew Schroeder, George Rincon, and Eric Merced all down pit road. So, Nicholas, Don Francisco, and the rest of the group, all the way back to Jerry Bergeron here, they're going to have to be that next group of Dippin' Dots here and dip it down pit road for their first round of green flag pit stops. At some point, Andrew Schroeder is going to come around, and here we go. This next group coming down pit road. Schroeder, Francisco, Sanchez, English, Seabrands, Mayer, Mann, Wing, Shepard, Bergeron. Somebody is on the grass here. Was that Eric Braden on the grass? Oh, it was. Oh, looks like the 24, the 06, and him all had a bit of pit road problems. Now, he was able to get it back on a pit road, but he did get a black flag for, I want to say, an unsafe pit entrance. He's grounded. Oh, I know, it's just a joke. What are they gonna do? Can't really do anything. I know what Dippin' Dots are. We are not sponsored by Dippin' Dots ice cream. Ryan Whitaker lead the way here. Schroeder and Dave Hunt. All right, Zonto leading the second group back here with Posey, Rothery, Kuhn, Bergante, Wagner, Sanchez, Seabrands, Mann, Wing, English, Mayer, Rincon, and Walters leading the back here with Hudson, Bergeron, Jesse Meyer, Dallas Childers. So we've got several different groups going on. Push uppies? What? Oh. Oh, man. I don't have a crank it up, Tim. A lot has happened in the year, so I haven't been able to, haven't got all the cameras and stuff going. Yeah. That's a conversation for another time, not tonight. I'll have to update you on everything. Looks like Zonto falling back here. He's going to get in line right ahead of the 4 of the Yeti cooler machine of Rick Seabrands as the 928 and the 22. James Wagner in the 928 comes flying around. Dwayne. What do you mean, the jam? The music? Well, no, I can't really play any music either. You know, the YouTube, the way they do their algorithm and such, it'll cut everything out. So got to really kind of watch the music, which I don't get, honestly. Back to single file here, somewhat. Mark Mann, old Batimus Prime is what Steven calls him, has found the back end of Rick Seabrands. Oh, 12 hours of Sebring. Man. Now the 22 is Shane Wilden. He is 2 laps down, and he is still trying to push and help. It looks like the 928 of James Wagner. No. Ballet music at NASCAR. Interesting. Or opera. One of the two. We are watching the 928. We've been on him for a little bit here. We're keeping an eye on him because he is making a good run on the outside here with the help of the 22. Now, we're in single file pretty much all through the field here, folks. It's that side-by-side up here that James Wagner has decided that he is tired of setting back toward the back. He just wanted to make a race of things, and he has really put himself up here toward the front now, battling Shane Posey here, trying to keep that fourth place spot at the 83 of Shane Posey's. Fighting him hard here as well. Well, the thing about Andrew is Andrew runs really good during the race. It's when we get down to the, the final laps, I don't know what happened. Gets caught in stuff and, it ends as not. That's what usually happens. Looks like the 928 still back here fighting with the 83 of Shane Posey. There's not really a whole lot right now going on. Single file, a couple of packs going on, and that's really about it. Dana Shepard is by his lonesome. Christopher Jordan is alone. Of course, here comes the leaders, too. That will put Christopher Jordan a lap down if the leaders do get around him, which is the 906/51 of Ryan Whitaker here, folks. Well, Tim, I appreciate it, man. It's been a long time since you've been in chat. Zach Caps out there in chat. How you doing? Bart? Is there a racer named Bart? No, there is not. Whoa, we got a yellow. It looks like it's going to happen back here. Oh, with Jesse Meyer. Ruh-roh. What happened to Jesse? Looks like a bad push from the 51 here in the tri-oval. I believe that is Dallas Childers here. Let's get a closer angle at this. Yeah, it looks like they were coming through the tri-oval. And yep, right there it was. Just a bad push here. And that upset Jesse. It does look like Jesse might have started getting a little loose. But right there is where it kind of finished him off at. As we get right there is where it kind of just ended up finishing him off, and he tries to save it, and he's into the grass, comes right back up into the 51, and they go around in circles the wrong way, not the way they should be going in circles. Well, all right, here we go. Yellow's out, getting back up live here. We will definitely have some pit stops here. Couple of laps earlier than the window, but I do imagine everybody will come down. No, I don't think that was netcode. Eric, you're not wrong. Technically, it is on that code, but yeah, you know that's not nowhere near it. No. Well, I didn't go back that far. I just went back a little bit right before the push, and that's about as far back as I went. He definitely pushed him. He could have took the air off of him too, and if that's the case, it's definitely going to cause the car to get loose, but regardless, there was definitely contact there. All right, everybody down pit road here. All right, so Ryan Whitaker off pit road first. Richard Kuhn, Harold Rothery, Rick Sanchez, George Rincon, Dave Hunt, James Wagner, Andy Bergante, Mark Mann, Rick Seabrands, Eric Merced, Andrew Schroeder, Anthony English, Nick Wing, James Mayer, Ron Walters, Jerry Bergeron, Zonto, Shepard, and Don Francisco. Top 20, and Dallas Childers is just rolling off of pit road here, coming back onto the track. Eric. Wow. Well, I sure do like the turnout in chat tonight. Everybody chatting it up. 10 likes, 25 watching. Love it. Y'all haven't already hit that like button, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, well, subscribe. Hit that notification bell, that little bell there, and it'll let you know when I go live here on Maxspeedtv. The lights are off on the pace truck, so the pace truck next time around will go off to the safety of pit road. If there's anything safe about it anyway. Ginger. Okay, good deal. The pink car reminds me of a flamingo. The pink car. You talking about Dallas, Tim? That pink car? I think that's the only pink one we've got out here. All right, getting all lined back up and side by side. Coming to lap number 49 here, folks. Getting closer to the halfway mark. All right, pace truck is down to the safety of pit road. And Ryan Whitaker's on the loud pedal, greens out. Good start by Ryan, Harold, Richard, everybody. Good restart. All right, well, now Dave Hunt is supposed to be in the playoffs. Now, he does not have the P by his name for some reason, but he is one of the playoff drivers. And I just noticed that. It took me half of the race to figure that out. George Rincon up front. 928 of James Wagner, the 90. Ron Walters. Nice to see Ron up toward the front now. Ron's been kind of hanging about, doing Ron things, but now that outside line really a groove. Oh, somebody's blinking. That's going to cause a yellow. Richard Kuhn in the 47 blinked out and then right back in. Yeah, I was not the only one that's seen that. And that caused a massive wreck. So we kind of know what actually caused that. But we will look at it here and we're going to see here, Richard. Actually, let's get on the '51. Wait, no. Yeah. I know there's Dallas. So who is... Okay, Ryan Whitaker. Let's get on Ryan Whitaker here. Because we're going to see right there is where he blinked out. See? 47. Gone. And then when he comes back, he is already moving up the track. And contact, net code, whatever you want to call it. It was a combination of everything, really. The 83 of Shane Posey was right in this mix, too. And he's going to get a piece of it with the 18. Just really nowhere to go for anybody. And that's what happens when a car blinks out. You just don't know where that car is going to reappear. And, well, folks, y'all seen it. You know, that's what happens when a car blinks out, reappears. It causes a massive problem. Now, does it always do that? No. But in this case, it did, and that puts us back under a yellow here tonight. Not what these guys wanted halfway into this race, but unfortunately, that is where we stand right now. As Zonto, Wagner, Walters, Whitaker, Merced, Hunt, Rothery, Brigante, Rincon, Childers, top 10 off of pit road. Don't believe anybody got a black flag, so everybody did make it out okay. Well, I've got several favorite colors, really. My favorite, my all-time favorite is like a sky blue color. But you know, I do like all blue. Big fan of blue. Black, and I really wouldn't consider it a color, but it's still in the color spectrum. Red, I like red. I mean, I even like pink. So, but in order, it would probably have to be sky blue, then black, pink, probably about the same. Probably would be mine. Checkered. Camo, but camo isn't a color. It's a mixture. It's a mixture. It's brown and grays, and I think there's even some black in there. I don't really consider camo a color, though. Khaki color, khaki, brown, gray, yeah. Khakis. Isn't that what people from New Jersey say when they're missing their keys to their car is khakis? Any of my khakis? Red, white, and blue. American flag colors, red, white, and blue, American flag. American flag itself isn't a color, but the colors on the flag are colors. I guess you could say the same thing with camo. Camo itself isn't a color, but the colors that represents camo are colors. If that makes any sense. Confusing me, too. Here we go. Race truck, dive again, back off to the safety of pit road. We are, well, we've still got 27 drivers. Oh, man. 27 drivers here tonight. 2 of them are a lap down, Shane Wilden and Jesse Meyer. It looks like Nicholas Don Francisco has taken his car behind the wall here tonight. Nope, he's back. Never mind. He's blinking out. That's what's going on. He's having blinking problems, and he does not want to cause any issues. Good play. Good play. All right. Well, we are green. We are back underway. Ooh, getting a lot of wiggly up front here on the restart. We've seen 2. Oh, no, the 18 going around. We're going to have another wreck. I think Harold Rothery might have gotten taken out here. Yeah, right there. Ron Walters came down. We're going to rewind it a little bit here. I was talking about them getting really wiggly up front. Yeah, right there it was. A lot of movement going on, a lot of wiggling, and then the wiggling turned into a wrong spot, wrong time, and a bumper hook. And then that sends Ron Walters right up into the 18, right there, hooked him. And the 18 of Harold Rothery, the 947, going to get a piece of it. Looks like the 937 also going to get mixed into this as well. The 48 of Schroeder's going to get in the mix. He's going to get a piece. It's not what we want to see. That's what happens when you get too wiggly up front. All right, everybody down pit road. Looks like Dallas stayed out. So James Wagner is going to be coming out first from pit road, followed by Ron Whitaker, Dave Hunt, Andy Brigante, Rick Sanchez, Dana Shepard, Andrew Zonto, Nick Wing, Chris Ramsey, Eric Merced, Joe Hudson, Richard Kuhn, Shane Posey, Anthony English. It's been a rough night here tonight. Right now, 6 cautions for 12 laps, 45 laps to go, 11 lead changes here this evening. So it's been a rough race. We have had one of those yellows out here tonight was a blinky car, but still, nevertheless, it did bring out a yellow, so it does have to be counted. Not sure exactly, maybe it's nerves, it being, the final race of the top 16. Maybe it's because, a lot of new drivers out here. Nobody really, knows how these other drivers race, and that goes for both sides. We really can't blame hot track temp out here tonight because, well, it's not racing. And so the track temp is probably not even above 90, probably not even above 85. But we will take a look. Okay, it's 79, so it's below 80. So, you know, track temp, probably not, you know, the problem here. Could be nerves. I'm going to probably, you know, I'm going to blame it on the nerves. That's what I'm going to blame it on. If y'all got something, want to take on it, you know, what kind of, you know, going on out there, you know, speak your mind in chat, don't make it evil or anything, but, you know, is it, you know, combination of everything, nerves, final race, you know, pit stops? Nah, we've only had, you know, the green flag pit stop, so lap 57 here, so it'll be lap 58 when we go green. We are still looking here, though, folks. It's several, at least 2 pit stops, I would think. At least 2 at minimum. And that's basing it off of just an 18-lap run here. At least 2 pit stops. Yeah, controller drivers. The only controller driver that I know that can actually hang on to it is that guy right there in the 06 of Zonto. I mean, yeah, he does have his hiccups, but he's about one of the best ones that I've seen run on a super speedway with a controller. Some of the other guys, like you said, could be controller drivers, not, you know, very comfortable with it. You know, there's no telling. Here we go. Green's back out, boy. Green got a late going again. Dallas is on the loud puddle. Boy, James Wagner, the 928 on the outside, and Dave Hunt. And got a good start there, as that is going to pull back Dallas Childers here a little bit. We got 2 51s, but they're not 51. Ryan Whitaker and Dallas Childers both are on the bottom. And the Ryan Whitaker giving Dallas a shove. The black 51 and the pink 51. There, I can separate them out with that, I guess. As Dave Hunt gets a good shove there, and Dave drops it down to the bottom in front of the pink 51 machine. Your eyes are not messed up there, Belva. You are seeing 2 51s out there. Dallas Childers is in the pink 51, and Ryan Whitaker is in the black 51. Supposed to be 906 for Ryan Whitaker. Supposed to be, well, 051. Dallas is actually supposed to have a 900 number, but he's got 051, so 51. But nope, your eyes are not messed up. They're not playing tricks on you. All right, the 928 of James Wagner, and that is the 937. That's Chris Ramsey. Some of these drivers are also looking to pull upset here, too. Those non-chase drivers, those non-playoff drivers. Now, Dana Shepard, Dave Hunt right here, 1-2. Both of these guys are in the playoffs, even though Dave's name says he's not. He is, because I have him in the top 16. Dana Shepard also in it. He is on the outside looking in, as well as Dave Hunt. I think both of these need a win here to get in. Still have about 40 laps to go here, so at least 2 more stops. If you base it on 18 laps, I don't know if they can go 20 laps. If they can, then it'll be one stop save, but for all intents and purposes, I base it off of the 18. But I have it at 15 to 20, so we'll see what happens. Dallas Childers, though, has been out here 10 laps. This is his 10th lap. Everybody else has been out here 5, 6 laps. So they can go a little bit further than what Dallas can. Everybody, though, go in single file for the good majority of it. The 928 of James Wagner, the 937 of Chris Ramsey on the outside. Back here around Shane Posey, about the 10th spot. So cracking the top 10 here. Shane started in 5th. He is trying to stay in the top 10. All right, now currently running 9th. Battle of the 928 here. James Wagner, Rick Sanchez, Chris Ramsey also. Here comes Nick Wing. Haven't really talked much about that man right there, Nick Wing, but you know that's why a lot of these drivers we don't talk about early on, because they start in the back and they just ride, and they don't worry about anything until they get later on into the race. And Wing is one of them, and he has found himself just outside of the top 12 in 13th right now. Also looking a little bit further back, Anthony English, Shane Wilden, Andrew Schroeder. Also in the mix back here, Rick Seabrands looking to play spoiler. Mark Mann, Christopher Jordan, a couple of playoff drivers duking it out back here. They will have to pit, so no doubt about it. They're going to have to come down. Well, there's a combination of several things, Eric, when it comes to that. If they're running custom paints with custom numbers, then I'll pull their custom paint custom number. That's the thing with trading paints. If I didn't, then everybody would have totally, it would be worse than what it actually is, okay? A lot of them don't go in and change their number to whatever number they're assigned, and it keeps the number that they have on the car. So they stamp it with their custom number, and that's what's on their car. You know, you being a painter, I thought you would be well aware of that. But you don't do the numbers, do you? You don't paint custom numbers on your cars, do you? Like if I told you to paint me a paint, you wouldn't paint my number on there. You would just do the paint, and I would have to put my number on there itself, correct? So while you get to that thought, let me get back down here onto the track here. And two, a lot of these guys are new, so they probably don't understand the rules and the concept yet. So if they do come back next season and they want to race, then they will be assigned another number, or, you know, they can keep the same one or whatever. And we're going to have, it looks like, possibly another yellow back here as Dallas Childers and Shane Posey gets a little too friendly back here. Dallas is going to get kind of pushed out to the outside. He doesn't have really any help. But James Wagner right now leading the way, but here comes Chris Ramsey. And as well as the black 51 of Ryan Whitaker. Supposed to be, like I said, 906, but you know, who's paying attention? Side by side, good racing. Zonto up here in 7th. Dana Shepard right behind him. Dave the Hunt right behind him. This is the top 10. Then you have Shane Posey, Sanchez, Wing Hudson, English, Jordan, all these guys back here kind of running single file. They're going to let these guys up here duke it out. Ew, Martinsville. Ugh. I do not like that track. All right, they're going to be coming up on it, looks like. Yeah, Nicholas Don Francisco is back out there 3 laps down. He's got the leaders coming up on him, though. I don't know if they're communicating yet or not. No. He's going to stay put, and that's going to slow up that inside line as James Wagner goes to the outside. Well, we've seen this before, getting a little dicey. 3 wide at Daytona, 3 rows deep, now 2 rows deep, now 1 row deep as Zonto splits the gap between the 24 and the 13 there. Jeez, well, that got a little scary. Well, folks, here we go. 30 laps to go here tonight. We have hit lap number 71. We should be seeing pit stops, though, here roughly in about 5 laps. And 3 to 5 laps, I should say. 3 to 5 laps. And, well, we got some drivers already coming down pit road here. And they're dipping, dotting it again. Here we go. Rick Sanchez, Nick Wing, Dallas Childers, Anthony English, Andrew Schroeder, Rick Seabrands, James Mayer, Mark Mann, Ron Walters, and Jerry Bergeron all down pit road. Let's see here if Ryan Whitaker leads the rest of the group down or if he's going to try and stay out of a lap or 2 more. And it looks like this group's going to stay out here. I don't see nobody else coming back down pit road. These guys coming off of pit road, fixing to get back out onto the track. Oh, George Rincon did not pit either. He's by himself. I do expect him to pit at some point. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, a lot of them are running custom numbers, so that's why I run into the problem with that. So George Rincon did come down pit road. He is going to be coming back off here. Now we're going to have more drivers coming down pit road. James Wagner, Shane Posey, Shane Wilden, Chris Ramsey, all down pit road. Looks like Jesse is going to be coming back out. Nicholas Don Francisco is in his box as well. All right, well, here comes the rest of them. Harold Rothery, Ryan Whitaker, Dave Hunt, Andrew Zonto, Andy Brigante, Dana Shepard, Eric Merced, Richard Kuhn, Joe Hudson, and Christopher Jordan. All down pit road. We do have a group already up to speed here, and that is Rick Sanchez, Anthony English, Nick Wing, Rick Seabrands, and Mark Mann. So they're going to be, passing up drivers here. They are just trying to get back around the track as quickly and as safely as they can. All right, so right now, Rick Sanchez, English, Wing, Seabrands, Mann, they have gotten around the 906 or Black 51 of Ryan Whitaker here. The 928 of James Wagner also getting around. So Rick back up front. Now back to single file, but here we go. Ryan Whitaker, Shane Posey, James Wagner, three drivers, top side, coming up toward the leaders. Oh, Mark Mann, hard lick into the wall. We're going to have another yellow. No! What happened to Mark? We're about to find out, folks. Oh, no. Zonto was behind him. Oh, and it looks like it actually started back behind him here. Right there it was. It looks like the 06 and the 83 meeting. 83 coming down. 06 did come up. Looks Looks like that top line was moving a little bit too. The 83 definitely coming down and clips the 06 of Zonto. As Zonto was moving up here, and 83 was moving down right there. And that set the stage for Mark Mann in the wrong spot. Takes another lick by the 83 of Shane Posey. The 928 also gonna get involved in that. And the 13 of Andy Brigante gonna get a piece of it. Oh, man. Well, alrighty, folks. Well, I have just achieved the hiccups here tonight. So I am going to so now I am going to kind of shut my mouth real quick and hold my breath for a minute, see if I can get rid of them. Hang on, folks. All right. Well, let's see here if I got rid of them or not. So, everybody did make a stop down pit road. It is definitely going to be close on fuel, but I still don't think they can go 20 laps or so on a tank of fuel unless they can manage to save a bunch. If not, they will, I think, have to come down pit road. Probably chasing storms, more than likely. All right, here we go. We'll be at 20 to go here when we get the green. Can we stay green for the final 20 laps here tonight? Rick Sanchez, Anthony English, Andrew Zonto, Nick Wing, Harold Rothery, Dennis Shepard, Richard Kuhn, Ryan Whitaker, Dave Hunt, Jerry Bergeron. That is your top 10. Pace truck to the safety of pit road here momentarily. Here we go. Pace truck is down. Coming to the restart. Green's back out. Here we go, folks. 20 laps to go here tonight. 20 laps to decide the top 16. At least in regulation. Can't rule out overtime. Gonna be close on fuel, though. I do believe Anthony English back up on point. He is going to drop it in front of the 5. Nick Wing on the outside. Bull, we have got a playoff battle up front here. English, Wing, Sanchez, Shepard, Zonto, Rothery, Jerry, Dave. Man, oh man. As Nick Wing drops it in front of the 44. That's going to put Shepard up on top with Kuhn behind him. To the line we go. The 21 has it. 18 to go here, folks. There's David. They were just talking about you. Wondering where you was at. I said you were out chasing storms. All right, well, Dana Shepard up front, Kuhn on the outside here. Now, Kuhn is not in the playoff, but he is up here playing spoiler. Everett. And we've got a yellow. Ruh-roh. Oh, Dallas Childers. Well, looks like him with a 947. Oh, looks like the 947. And Jesse got connected together here. Let's find out what transpired out onto the track on this yellow. It looks like the 947 is on the outside. Ooh, it looks like Jesse moved up. Yeah, it looks like Jesse moved way up because you can see the 947 looks like he is staying put. You can see that black line there. You can look at that black line, and yeah, he stayed up and then ended up moving up. And looks like Jesse Meyer moved up a little bit too far, and that is what happened. That's where the 947 and the 51 or the 0501 got a piece of this. As these two go in circles back here. And yet again, in circles, not the circles they want to do. So this right here, folks, this is it. Pit stop's probably going to happen. I don't think anybody will stay out, but then again, I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see what they do. 16 to go. They've been out here 6 laps. I don't think you can save enough to stay out. I think you're going to have to come down. But then again, they could prove me wrong and stay out and run it to the end. I don't know. Yep, Dana Shepard. Yep, yeah, these guys, they know they cannot make it. They are going to come down. Woo! Well, somebody did not come down pit road. That was that man right there in the number 4 of Rick Seabrands. Did not come down pit road. Interesting. Looks like several more didn't either. Eric Merced, Dallas Childers, and, well, Shane Posey's only been out here 2 laps, so I think he'll be okay. But, yeah, 3 drivers did not come down for sure. So Richard Kuhn is going to be the first one off of pit road, though. Everett, we've had a couple of them. we've had a couple. Looks like Rick's trying to save fuel is what he's trying to do. No surprise. Rick is not in the playoffs. You know, he doesn't really have anything to lose. So he can take a chance. You know, those guys that are in the playoffs, they want to make sure that they have enough fuel to go the distance. And with that pit stop, they will have enough. It does look like Nicholas is coming back down pit road here. As the lights on the pace car, truck, go off. It'll be 13 to go when we go green. Rick Seabrand, Shane Posey, Eric Merced, Dallas Childers, Dana Shepard, Richard Kuhn, Rick Sanchez, Anthony English, Harold Rothery, Jerry Bergeron, Dave Hunt, Andrew Zonto, Ron Whitaker, Andy Bergante, James Mayer, Mark Mann, Schroeder, Wilden, Walters, and Jordan is rounding out the top 20 here. It'll be 13 to go at green. I did see that, Everett. It looked pretty bad. Did see that the driver walked away from it, which is a good thing. Lost control into the corner, and I think he hit the dirt, and it just whooped around on him. And them Indy cars go really fast, so there's really not much they can do. And just backed right up, right into the fence, and pretty much went right through it. Glad he's okay. Glad he's okay. Everett, you remember Tim, don't you? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Pace truck is down to the safety of pit road. Rick's on the outside. Green's out. Shane Posey is behind him, as well as Dana Shepard, Rick Sanchez, Anthony English. We still have a lot of playoff drivers up here for sure. As these guys up front, Rick and Shane, pull away just a little bit from this back group here, but they're coming. They don't want to get too far ahead because, you know, the more vehicles you have, the better you're off being. As they do get lined up here, though, and real quickly, side by side, they're getting wiggly. Oh, no, Anthony! Good save, Anthony! Oh, no, Dallas Harold! No! Yellow is out. Looks like... Okay, that is not Dallas, but... Looks like right here, Zonto, Harold. Oh, man, let me... Okay, that is Dallas. All right, let me see here. So, yeah, Dallas is in the pink 51. All right, so let's see here what actually happened. See Zonto. All right, Zonto gives the 18 a shove right there, gets him loose, shoves him again, and I think the 18 just barely, yeah, right there, barely connects with the 44. And that kind of really, it was just a kind of a wham, bam, bam, wham thing up here, up top here. And that kind of set the stage for everything to happen. Then Dallas gets on the apron. And then right here, this is where the wreck itself happened. Jerry's right there in the one. Looks like Dallas was coming up, was not clear, and just Harold Rothery, Jerry, Dallas, Zonto. They're going to get involved. It looks like Dave Hunt's going to get a piece of it as well. Oh, man. All right, well, while we were looking at that, Shane Wilden does have a black flag, possibly speeding on pit road. Or coming off of pit road. Ah! Man, oh man. Is the pace truck in the playoffs? I don't know. That is a very good question. Never, yeah, you're right on that one. How to not bump draft. Yeah, that's not how to do it right there, and especially in the corner, you know. But, you know, I'm a broadcaster. I'm not a driver. So they can do that. They can do them, and I will set up here and not worry about when and where and not to push, you know. Because I don't have to worry about it. Well, Rick Seabrand's still leading the way here. 10 laps to go. Few of them come down pit road. Chris Ramsey, Jerry, James, Wing, Dave Hunt, Zonto, and George Rincon. Shane Wilden still has a black flag here. But he did also come down too, so gonna be an interesting finish here. Purdue didn't. Now that is why you gave them the nickname Perdon't. Perdon't. They were leading. This was before I went live, but here we go. Pace truck is down and the green is back out. Whoa! Spinning tires on the outside. Eric Merced and I believe Shane Posey did too. I definitely seen the 942 go almost sideways there. All right, ooh, 43 picking out. That's Dana Shepard. He was looking to the bottom, but I think he just maybe was trying to get air in there. Wow, Shane Posey, Eric Merced dropping it in front of Rick Seabrands. Coming to 8 to go, Anthony English, Dana Shepard, Ryan Whitaker, Rick Sanchez, Richard Kuhn, Joe Hudson, Martin Mann. Old Batimus Prime setting pretty right now. Started way back into the field at 25th. And he has cracked the top in 10 with 8 laps to go. Oh no, it has out! I spoke too soon. Oh no! Sorry, Mark! Oh man! No yellow on that either. We stay green. That was a save, but oh man, I know Mark is gonna give me a hard time for that one. Oh no! Shane Posey off pace now. As Seabrands goes back to the front with Anthony English. Well, I don't know if I would want to be up front. Oh, we got a wreck. Harold Rothery and Dana Shepard. Oh, right here. Oh, no. Well, let's get a look at it here. Now we're going to be on Harold Rothery. We see the 83 coming back up onto the track. 43 moving up, and right there, contact is made. Maybe the 80, did the 18 come down a little bit too? They were going into the corner, so it's really hard to tell, but definitely close, going into the corner for sure. Right there it is where the initial contact right there is. And that definitely, they're going into the corner, racing for position. That is definitely a misfortune for the both of them, of the 43 and the 18. And this is why I'm not an admin, because I would just have to call that a racing ordeal, but that was definitely close. I mean, you don't want to give up a spot, but you want to be careful at the same time. And, you know, both of these guys, I know them very well, and I hate it for the both of them, but, you know, only one person can fit in that spot, unfortunately. And, you know, neither one of them are happy. Man. Ginger. Well, you know me, Eric, Ginger, you've been with me long enough. Tim, I think, is probably the longest person in here, one of the, well, other than my brother, that's known me the longest, really. Tim's been with me for, golly, Tim, how many years? I know it's been a while since you've been in here, but you've been with me for a long time, few years, for sure. But anyway, y'all know I try to call it as I see it, and you know, like I was going back to that, you know, with Harold and Dana. I mean, you're going into the corner, and you know, you're vying for the same spot. You're trying to keep your line, and that happened. So, you know, kind of hard to blame anybody, but I will say only one car can fit there. A long time, yeah, long time. I started in 2016, so let's see here. I think it was somewhere a little bit after that. 2017? Yeah, folks, I've been doing this a while. I know a lot of people. Let's see here. Mark Mann, the 04, well, he is coming back out. So, yeah, he's going to be good to go. He does not have a fast repair left. He will be okay. Everybody's going to be fine on fuel, I think. Rick Seabrands is definitely going to cut it close, as well as Eric Merced. They've been out here 16 laps. So, they're going to definitely be close on fuel. Yeah, 10 years. Seen a lot of leagues. I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've even seen drivers called races with drivers that are now in the Pro Series here on iRacing. So I can honestly say that I've, you know, called their names. Sure, y'all will know one of them, Bobby Zielinski. I know him real well. There's several of them now. Yeah, somewhere after COVID. Yeah. I know when COVID hit, it hit pretty hard. And, of course, NASCAR even went to iRacing. Well, all right, here we go. 4 to go. It'll be 3 to go. We are in the window of the GWC attempts. We've got to get to the white flag. If we get to the white flag and it comes out, then they wreck. Well, they'll just race it back to the line. If a caution comes out before the white flag, starting after the green flag here, we will be in the GWC attempts, and we will go all the way up to the iRacing 15, if that's what it takes. That is unlimited. Hopefully we don't have to use 15 GWCs, but they're there if we need them. Here we go. Pace truck is down. Rick Seabrands and company. Rick on the bottom. Green is out. And we are at 3 laps to go here tonight. They have to make it back around twice to take the white flag. This time and one more. As Rick Seabrands just gonna continue to keep going. Anthony English right behind him. Ryan Whitaker on the outside. Kuhn, Sanchez, Merced, Posey, Bergante, Schroeder, Wagner. That is your top 10. We're going to be hitting that 2 laps to go here, but we've got to get back around one more time. And if they keep moving the way they're doing, well, we're not going to get there. They're going to have to be quiet. Boy, here comes the 95 of James and Mayer through the gap here. He is trying to make one last ditch push here. Here we go. On the back stretch, down into turn number 3. Just get to the line. Daniel Parent in chat. Here we go into the tri-oval. White flag in the air. One more time around. Ryan Whitaker, Rick Seabrands, Richard Kuhn, Anthony English. That's your top 4. Who is it gonna be? It could be anybody, to be honest with you. Ryan's got the edge on the outside. Anthony's trying to push the 4. They're getting squirrely. The 4. Oh, here we go. They're wrecking. Rick Seabrands coming to the line. Gonna win it here tonight. Kuhn gonna edge out Anthony English for second. How in the world? Wow, Anthony English in third, folks. I have got to take a look at that P2 finish here by Richard Kuhn as they wreck back here in the back. Because, man, that was close. So we're going to be on Kuhn, boy. Man, they split the 51 there. And right here, man, the 44 pushing the daylights out of the 4. And by about a bumper. Wow, man, that was close. Richard Kuhn is going to edge out the P2 spot. But Rick Seabrand's gonna win it here tonight. Hey, folks, I didn't say this at the beginning, but I called it. I said that Rick Seabrands is gonna play spoiler, and he did. Alrighty, folks, I'll get the top 3 up here for the Maxspeedtv post-race show. Hang tight. We will be right back. Alrighty, folks. Well, I've caught up with our first and third here tonight. We're going to go ahead and pull Anthony English up here real quick and have a talk with him. Anthony, golly. You know, it was a kind of a rough one out here tonight, to say the least. There's, some wrecks out here, new drivers. Nerves probably, a combination of everything. But, dude, it was an awesome race, and, nonetheless. A lot of battling out there. Even, I guess you could say, even pit strategies here coming down to the wire with C-Brands there. But, Anthony, talk about it, buddy. It looks like you're going to be good to go into the playoffs here. But talk about the race out here tonight, the final race of the top 16, Daytona night racing. It was wild.
It was... It was like it was a full moon or something. It's like it. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just weird. It was one of those weird ones. There's just a lot of weird accidents. I think people just not taking it easy with the new draft package, and you can't bump slam draft in these things anymore.
Yeah.
Like even light gentle pushes is getting the people out of shape and stuff. So I think it's just a product of the car a little bit right now, but I think as people get used to it, maybe it'll get better. But yeah, we were in survival mode from lap 1 when I killed myself. I don't know what it was, but when they got that run in the outside of me on that first lap, it like just pulled my car right up into them, and we wrecked. And so I ended up using my fast repair on the first lap.
Man.
So I was kind of just chilling at the back and just making sure to stay out of everything from that point on. And, and then you get towards the end and it's go time and you got to go. So we went, and a couple guys did some stay out stuff, and with the way some of the wrecks happened and the way everything else happened, we ended up, Rick ended up lined up on the bottom, and we kind of just stayed committed. And I don't know what happened in the last lap there, but ended up shuffling up that top line a little bit and got it to where I could push Rick to the win. So congrats to Rick on the win. I'll take a third and move on to the next round.
Yep. Next round, buddy. You're going to be, I believe, locked in. You could probably make it official. I can't, but... when the points come out, we'll see, who the top 8 are. But, you probably definitely going to be one of them. But we are going to be off Saturday because, Easter weekend. But when we come back, it's going to be the top 8, man. We only got 2 races in the top 8. Unlike, top 16, we got 3. Top 8 is very important because you've got 2 shots to get the win in. If not, you better make sure that you have the points to get in. Talk about, the first race, in the top 8. That is going to be at Talladega, and then the 08 of Daytona to, kind of finish out round 8 when the round of 8 when we come back, buddy. Talk about it.
Well, it's definitely more, oh God, what's the word for it? Just agonizing. No. It isn't agonizing, but it's definitely, it's a whole nother beast because, like you said, you got 2 races. You got to put together 2 solid races because you're racing with a lot of good people out here, and it's sometimes hard. It won't be as bad at like Dega or Daytona like here, but when we go to 08, it's gonna be. I think 08's going to be your mulligan race, the one where, you better hope you might have a bad race, but you better hope you can come back from that, and pull a mulligan out of your butt halfway through the race and come back. Because how Saturday can be. Sometimes it can be long green. Sometimes it can be like tonight, and you could have just a lot of wily stuff going on. So it's hard to really gauge what you want to do besides just know that you got to nail 2 good finishes back to back.
Right. Well, out of everything that happened out of you here tonight, killing yourself on lap 1, you did manage to lead a lap. So, that, I guess, that and finishing third, I guess, was the big thing that came out of tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, at that point, I just wanted to finish. I was thinking at that point, top 10 would be great because I have a pretty decent points advantage ahead of like ninth place and down. So I think a top 10 or whatever, and I don't think no matter what happened, I would have been out or whatever. But but yeah, no, to have a good little recovery at the end, get some TP. We're not talking about toilet paper. Get some TP at the end of the race, and took advantage of it and come out with a third.
Yeah, awesome job, Anthony, man.
And I know the points. You want to know the points too before we?
Yeah, you can go
hop on
ahead.
outta here.
You can go ahead and do the top 8 if you want to. That way we all know who they are, and then I'll jump over and get Rick.
Okay, so it would be me, Nicholas Wing, James Mayer, Mark Mann, Harold Rothery, Gary Bergeron, Rick Sanchez, and Adam Kilday.
That's going to be your top 8, folks.
Top 8.
Yep, you heard it right here from Anthony. He's already got it all lined up and ready to go and rock and roll. So, we'll have a list of them next week, or the week after, I should say. Not next week, the week after, of the top 8. And I'm going to actually try to post that on Facebook. That way everybody will know going into that. So, but awesome job out here tonight, Anthony, man. Have an awesome weekend. Stay safe. Easter coming up, buddy. Go celebrate your third. I know you got some final thoughts, shout outs, thanks you want to give. So Mike's yours, bud.
Yeah, big shout out to you, Josh, Maxspeedtv, Stephen Lane, everybody that's involved with what you guys do for broadcasting for us. Big shout out to Bubba. Bubba wasn't here tonight. I did an epic speech just like he wanted, and it was long-winded. And I can't do it as good as him, but I tried. But shout out to him. He missed tonight for a church event, so we all missed him. Big shout out to the team guys, everybody in the channel, putting it together tonight and coming home with decent finishes and moving on and stuff like that. So big shout out to those guys. Rick for winning. Big shout out to Rick for winning, and everybody watching at home. Beautiful girlfriend, dad. Our sponsors. I do believe it was Rick Connors tonight, correct? Or Rob Connors tonight.
I never got the memo.
I can't remember, but I think it was Rob Connors who sponsored tonight.
Okay, well,
so big shout out to him and whoever did.
Yeah,
and then everybody else who watches and comes to race and stuff.
Yeah,
that's it. Get out of here.
All righty, Anthony, go celebrate your third out here tonight, buddy. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Well, we'll see you Thursday, but we'll see you here in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you, bud. Now. All right, well, that was Anthony English here, folks, and we're going to go ahead and, Richard Kuhn here, folks, in that number 47 machine did manage to get P2 out here tonight. Congratulations to Richard, but... well, here he is right here. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Upset Seabrands.
How about that? Yeah,
Man,
we'll take it for sure.
Awesome
Absolutely.
job, but I know you were probably running on fumes there, man. But
I was. That was a good call by the team to stay out and get that track position, because this thing was an absolute handful all night long. I couldn't believe how just insanely upsetting the car would get with the slightest contact from the car behind. It just didn't clean air was not his friend. There was something going on with the car. But man, it was a handful all night for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of bumping and going on out there here tonight, and I'll talk to you about it because I'm sure you've seen it. You probably felt it.
Oh yeah.
The slightest bump, whether it be on the back stretch or I hate to say it, even through the tri-oval and the turns, it didn't matter where it happened at. Man, that car would just snap.
I mean, you seen it earlier. We had track position earlier out front. Then we had a little bit of contact on the back stretch, and that we were kind of playing catch up for that. It really wasn't anything malicious. I think it's just a product of the close racing and just how uneasy the car was tonight. But yeah, credit to this team. Credit to Anthony for the great push in there too. I haven't looked at the replay yet to see what happened on that high side. I don't know if it was just hard racing there or what happened, but
there was a big wreck.
I seen the 906 got out of shape, and credit to him for a great save, because I usually get wiped out in those. So good job by him, and Yeah, we'll certainly take it, man. Come out here in the playoffs and spoil it. And,
Yeah.
And get a W for the team. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, taking a win away from one of those those chase drivers, including Anthony. Now, I do know Anthony had a pretty good points lead. I understand that. He was probably already good to go. But, those drivers out there, that needed a win to get in, taking a win away, that's just a product of racing. You're out here trying to race too. And, you can't just let them win. They got to earn it.
That's what the exciting part about this playoff format and these playoff races are, man. There's kind of a race within the race. You'll have fuel mileage. You'll also have cars that are not playoff drivers that can take more risk like that for track position and put yourself in spots. And yeah, it's and it pays off. And Anthony, he's that was a smart playoff move by him. He didn't have to have that win tonight, so he really didn't have to be overly aggressive to try and win in your end. So I think he did a good job of pushing there, giving me good solid bumps, and that's what it took.
Well, I know when everybody came down for that last stop, the last stop before all these other stops we had, but for the last stop, knowing everybody could make it, you stayed out, and I made the comment, and you can go back and listen to it. I made the comment like, you're not in he's not in the playoffs. He doesn't have, really anything to, win or lose in this situation, but possibly the race. So something belongs on that, along those lines. And, I was right. You really didn't have anything to lose other than the race. You were just seeing what you could do.
Yeah, that was the strategy, all along this pretty much this whole race was to just try and save as much as we can and then just kind of see how the race plays out. And if it plays in our favor like it did there, good for us. But a lot had to happen there too. If that thing goes green, we probably don't make it. Yep. So, we needed to help with some cautions. But credit to the team and credit to all the drivers. So we had a really good field for a championship race tonight too on a Saturday night. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had 31 drivers to start things off out here tonight. I don't know exactly how many finished, but nevertheless, it was a really good turnout out here tonight. Now, of course, Thursday we have the the TNT series. This Thursday we're going to be off Saturday. We'll get to that in a minute, but we're going to see you Thursday.
Probably not. I have my real life job kind of interferes with a lot of those races during the week. So we probably won't be out for that, but I did know we were off next Saturday, but it's always nice to win a race going into an off week. You get to be the winner just a little bit longer, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. We're going to be off Saturday. Of course, it's Easter weekend, so we are going to be off. So,
that's a good call.
when we come back, that's going to be on the 11th. We'll be at Talladega, and then the 18th will be at 08. How do you feel about Dega?
Well, hey, I feel great about it. If I'm a championship contender, that's 2 weeks to kind of think about it and to kind of ponder kind of a strategy thing. Us, we're just going to show up, unload, see how fast we are, and see where everything shakes out for us.
Spoiler C brands right here, folks.
We'll take it, right?
Yeah. All righty, Rick. Awesome job on the win out here tonight, buddy. I know you've got some final thought shout outs. Thanks. So I'll turn the mic back over to you, buddy.
Yeah, all the fans out there for sure for watching it and you bringing it to all the fans, all the teammates. Anthony, again, for the good pushing there at the end, man. You can't win these things alone. That's just that's just the nature of the beast. All the admins behind the scenes to get these awesome races going like this, man. Can't thank them enough, and can't wait to see everybody in 2 weeks.
All righty, Rick. We're gonna celebrate your win out here tonight, buddy. We'll see you then.
All right, thanks.
Yep. All right, Rick C Brands out there here tonight. Spoiler C Brands or upset C Brands or however you want to call him. He's the guy right here. He's the guy you got to watch. Yeah, when it comes to these races, is he will play spoiler, none of the less. But we're gonna get down here to the official results because, of course, they've already done all of the points and everything. So these are going to be our official results. Good night, Tim. Rick C. Brands coming in tonight playing spoiler. Good win here tonight by Rick. Richard Kuhn, awesome finish by Richard. They're in second. Anthony English third. He was already good to go, I do think. He'll finish third out here tonight. Rick Sanchez in fourth. Ryan Whitaker fifth. Andy Brigante sixth. Mark Mann seventh. Eric Merced in eighth. Shane Posey 9th, and Ron Walters 10th. Shane Wilden in 11th, Harold Rothery 12th, James Wagner 13th, Nick Wing 14th, Dave Hunt 15th, Joe Hudson 16th, James Mayer 17th, George Rincon in 18th, Andrew Zonto 19th, Adana Shepard 20th, Andrew Schroeder 21st, Christopher Jordan 22nd, Nicholas Don Francisco 23rd, Chris Ramsey 24th, Jerry Bergeron 25th, Dallas Childers 26th, Jesse Meyer 27th, Eric Braden 28th, Brian Lashbrook 29th, and Ron Holyfield in 30th, and Stephen McGough in 31st. But again, our winner here tonight, Rick Seabrands. We will be off all the way up until Thursday. The OP TNT 87 series. We got 4 races, and that's going to start there. 4 races in the chase, folks. Yeah, you ever don't want to miss that 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central, right here on Maxspeedtv. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. 12 likes out there. Man, we had a good turnout in chat. We had a lot of people in chat out here tonight. I love to see it. So many, I can't really name everybody. But I want to thank each and everybody out there that tuned in. Come out here Thursday. We're going to have more racing right here on Maxspeedtv. But until next time, stay safe. Thank you all, folks, and have a good night.
Engines roll, the night comes alive. Maxspeedtv, where the races thrive. Tires burn, a crowd leans in. This is where the action begins. Wheels spin, sparks ignite. Under the lights is a fierce fight. Shats alive like a racing heart. Is a place where legends start.